The Clan, excerpt from Eight Cousins by Louisa M. Alcott. 7 boys stood in a row, all ages, all sizes, all yellow-haired and blue-eyed, all in full Scottish costume, and all smiling, nodding, and saying as with one voice, "How are you, cousin?" Rose gave a little gasp, and looked wildly about her as if ready to fly, for fear magnified the 7, and the room seemed full of boys. Before she could run, however, the tallest boy stepped out of the line, saying pleasantly, "Don't be frightened. This is the clan come to welcome you, and I'm the chief of your cousins, Archie, at your service." He held out his hand as he spoke, and Rose timidly put out her own into a brown paw, which closed over the white morsel, and held it as the chief continued his introductions. We came in full rig, for we always turn out in style on grand occasions. Hope you like it. Now I'll tell you who these chaps are. This one is Prince Charlie, Aunt Clara's boy. She has but one, so he's an extra good one. This old fellow is Mac, the bookworm, called Worm for short. This sweet creature is Steve the dandy. Look at his gloves and top knot, if you please. They are Jane's sons, and a precious pair, you'd better believe. These are my brothers, Geordie and Will, and Jamie the youngest. Now, my men, step out and show your manners." At this command, to Rose's great dismay, 6 more hands were offered, and it was evident that she was expected to shake them all. It was a trying moment to the bashful child, but, remembering that they were her cousins come to welcome her, she tried her best to return the greeting cordially. This impressive ceremony being over, the clan broke ranks, and both rooms instantly appeared to be pervaded with boys. Rose hastily retired to the shelter of a big chair, and sat there watching the invaders and wondering when her aunt would come and rescue her. As if bound to do their duty manfully, yet rather oppressed by it, each lad paused beside her chair in his wanderings, made a brief remark, received a still briefer answer, and then sheered off with a relieved expression. Archie came first, and leaning over the chair back, observed in a paternal tone, "I'm glad you've come, cousin, and I hope you'll find it pretty jolly." "I think I shall." Mac shook his hair out of his eyes, stumbled over a stool, and asked abruptly, "Did you bring any books with you?" "4 boxes full. They are in the library." Mac vanished from the room, and Steve, striking an attitude which displayed his costume effectively, said with an affable smile, "We were sorry not to see you last Wednesday. I hope your cold is better." "Yes, thank you," and a smile began to dimple about Rose's mouth as she remembered her retreat under the bedcovers. Feeling that he had been received with distinguished marks of attention, Steve strolled away with his top-knot higher than ever, and Prince Charlie pranced across the room, saying in a free and easy tone, "Mamma sent her love and hopes you will be well enough to come over for a day next week. It must be desperately dull here for a little thing like you." "I'm 13 and a half, though I do look small," cried Rose, forgetting her shyness in indignation at this insult to her newly acquired teens. "Beg pardon, ma'am. Never should have guessed it," and Charlie went off with a laugh, glad to have struck a spark out of his meek cousin. Geordie and Will came together, 2 sturdy 11 and 12-year-olders, and, fixing their round blue eyes on Rose, fired off a question together. "Are you going to have a boat?" "I hope not." Here the 2, with a right-about-face movement, abruptly marched away, and little Jamie demanded with childish frankness, "Did you bring me anything nice?" "Yes, lots of candy," answered Rose, whereupon Jamie ascended into her lap with an announcement that he liked her very much. The Clan, by Louisa May Alcott, from 8 Cousins, in the public domain.